Hey everyone, welcome back to the Craft Parenting Podcast, the podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem.
But not tonight.
Not tonight, that's right. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Joe Ludwig, and that voice that you hear is my lovely wife and co-host, Caroline.
How you doing?
Yeah, so we are live on, well, all podcasts are recorded live. We are on location at West Side Brewing.
West Side, West Side.
Yep, thank you, Caroline, for that.
Happy to help.
And we have a babysitter.
We do.
So thanks to my mom and dad for letting us escape the house
For
of
a
craziness for a few hours.
Mm-hmm.
We ate dinner at the, what's the truck called?
It is Buffalo's Best. Go Bills.
Yes.
That's what it says on their food sign.
Go Bills.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, their food was good. At the very least, we had chicken tenders, but they also have wings, like bone-in wings.
Yeah.
Some would call that the proper way to eat wings.
But when you're going to get ready to record a podcast, it's best that you don't coat yourself in sauce.
Yeah, I always prefer the boneless wings anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That might be controversial. We'll see. If you have any complaints about my opinion on wings, my opinion is this. Boneless wings are better than bone-in wings.
Wow. Shots fired.
If you have any complaints about that, if you have any comments, concerns, you can hit up Raging Hop on Twitter.
Yep, that is how you get a hold of us on Twitter, is at Raging Hop.
And he will pass along any negative comments to us. So yeah, we're just going to have a very chill episode. No real agenda. We hear that West Side has some Bavarian lagers on tap. So we're going to try those. And we're just going to have a good old time. So let us dive in and get started.
So, Joe, I noticed that you have a West Side Brewing Mug Club mug in front of you. What you drinking?
Yeah, so we started out with pre-production beers.
I mean, we have to plan the show.
Exactly,
so
yeah.
We need beers for that.
So I am drinking the West Side Helles, which is very delicious. Clean, crisp, light, 5.4% ABV, and 18 IBUs. Very tasty. What are you drinking?
I am drinking the West Side Wit beer. It is 5.4% and delicious and nutritious.
We're just moving through this episode, you guys.
This is gonna be the opposite of shift beers, where they spend like the first hour of the show talking about what they drank since the last time they recorded an episode, and then 20 minutes about the topic. We're just gonna do like 10 minutes before the episode, at the beginning of the episode, and then it's just gonna be like an hour of chit chat. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see what happens, yeah. So now it is time for What's Bugging Caroline in Children's TV, where you, Caroline, tell us all about the lack of physics and logic in children's TV. So what is bugging you this week?
So we have been watching a lot of Barney in our house, as we have alluded to on other episodes. So Barney now makes a prominent feature in our What's Bugging Me in Children's TV segments. Because I've gone through a lot of the episodes of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Like, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse is still a gold mine. But I have to remember what things I've already complained about. I need to make a list.
I have a list.
You do have a list. Sweet. I'm going to have to borrow that. But back to Barney. So, in an episode all about farm animals, Barney and the gang are at school, and a farmer comes and visits and shows them different animals. So they sing all these different songs and do all these poems about all these different animals, like stuff that you know, like is it 4 little ducks? It's a little duck with a feather on his back, goes quack, quack, quack. But Barney makes all of the noises except for quack until the very end.
Yeah.
Which is semi-confusing. But towards the end of the episode...
It's funny. It's comedy.
This is comedy for children, that is true. Towards the end of the episode, the farmer brings out an egg. And they're like, but we thought we were going to see a chick. And he's like, this is a chick, but it's still in the egg. We have to wait for it to hatch. And they're like, well, okay, so which one of us is going to sit on the egg to watch it, to make it hatch? And then they all look at Barney and they're like, Barney, You're going to do it. So Barney holds the egg in his hands because he's not a monster who's going to sit on the egg and smoosh it. Because I'm like 95% sure that would be what would happen. And all of a sudden, the egg is cracking. And he opens his hands and there is a newborn chick. In quotes. Because it is definitely not a newborn chick. But it's a baby chick. But aren't dinosaurs reptiles?
They are.
Wait, I need to Google this now. Hold up a second.
3 days later.
Are dinosaurs warm-blooded or cold-blooded? Wait, Joe. There's new research. As of March 2022, dinosaurs are warm-blooded. Oh, sorry, that was May. Another month that starts with M. As of May 2022, the consensus is that dinosaurs were warm-blooded.
Wait, what?
And some of them did, in fact, sit on their eggs to make them hatch. Dude, there's also a theory that I completely forgot about until just now, where you know how like T-Rexes have little arms, and they're like, these arms are so little, like what? Like you can't really do anything with that. But then somebody was like, but if we turn their arms backwards from how you used to see them, it looks like a chicken. So maybe they had wings with giant feathers.
That would make Jurassic Park even more terrifying.
It would make Jurassic Park extremely terrifying. And it makes me slightly more afraid of chickens. Because chickens are like little dinosaurs.
Not T-Rexes, though.
No. So that was... Okay, so maybe Barney actually could have done that.
Huh.
What?
The more you know. We're learning a whole bunch of stuff here at West Side Brewing.
Education is key. Always be learning.
Hey everyone, Joe Ludwig here with the one and only Caroline.
Hey!
Before we get to the main topic of today's episode, we wanted to pause briefly and tell you about how you can support the show.
So if you enjoy listening to the podcast and reading our blog posts every week, then you now have the opportunity to support the show through Buy Me a Coffee. Here's what you need to know. It's super easy to do. You don't have to set up an account to contribute. You have options. Send us a one-time donation or sign up as a member to contribute on a monthly or yearly basis. Plus, you can unlock exclusive content.
To learn more about how you can support the Craft Parenting Podcast through Buy Me a Coffee, click the link in the show notes. And now, back to the show. All right, so we are back from the bar.
Woohoo!
And I brought back, well, I went to the bar, and I was talking to the bartender, and she told me that they blew the Dunkel the day of Oktoberfest.
What Oktoberfest?
West Side had an Oktoberfest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. At this point, a few weeks ago, where you could get all 6. Technically they had 6 different Bavarian beers.
I mean, Dunkel is one of the best beers at Oktoberfest. So.
Yeah, so they still have it in cans in the to-go fridge. I might have to go and snag some because I got some last time I was here, and it was very good.
Mm-hmm.
Before we just, talk about whatever, let's go around and you can go first. Tell the audience what is in your flight. You don't have to do tasting notes or anything. Just tell everyone what you got.
Okay. So I am drinking the Oktoberfest, which is 5.2% and 22 IBUs. The Fest beer, which is 6% and 32 IBUs. The Helles, which is 5.4% and 18 IBUs. And the Hefeweizen, which is 4.9% and 19 IBUs. And then what have you got?
I am drinking the Oktoberfest, 5.2%, 22 IBUs. Fest beer, 6%, 32 IBUs. The Smoked Oktoberfest, 5.6%, 18 IBUs. And then the Hefeweizen, 4.9%, 19 IBUs. And I'm going to start with the Oktoberfest.
I am as well. We can...
So, Prost.
Prost. Oh, right here. No, by the mic.
Oh.
There's a guy here that's wearing the same shirt as you. Scandalous.
It's a very nice shirt.
West Side.
It is the West Side.
No. That's not how you say it.
West Side.
There you go.
Is it this one?
West Side, West Side.
It's a picture of a hand doing the West Side.
The W for West Side.
Yeah. which may or may not be a gang sign.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Oh my goodness.
It is dog night here at the brewery, and Joe just saw a very pretty pupper.
Looks like Clara, just white.
It looks like
a lot bigger.
a little more of a lab Clara.
I guess he's part of the Run Club. But,
Probably.
But they have an adoption agency here.
Yep, Louie's Legacy is here. They have 3 dogs that are available for adoption today. So if as we're recording this, you were at West Side, there are some dogs available for adoption.
We may or may not go home with one.
We are not taking another dog home. Our bed is not big enough. Our dogs barely fit in our bed.
Man, Clara has been...
She's been kicking Zoe out of bed.
She has. She doesn't go into the shape of a ball anymore. I don't know that she's getting like old and like, I don't want to do that.
She just doesn't care anymore. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
But so this Oktoberfest, very tasty.
I like it. I like the Oktoberfest. It tastes exactly like it should.
Yeah, which is delicious.
It's rosy in color, like copper.
Yeah, it's like copper.
Malty.
Yeah, malty. Little sweet, but not super sweet.
Yeah. That's what I mean by malty.
I could drink this by the pint. Or by the liter. Sorry.
No, they have liters over there.
I know, but I have to work tomorrow.
For sure, yeah. And the Fest beer, it's lighter, like it should be. I'm just looking at tasting. But it's heavier in alcohol, which kind of surprised me.
Well,
and the IBUs are a little bit higher too. But IBUs are fake anyway.
Yeah, IBUs are fake. We say them because Westside says them. But, like, I really... Because, like, I know Julia's talked about it. Or maybe it was Marco. That there is a beer that, like, has 15 IBUs and tastes really, really bitter. And there's a beer that has 100 IBUs and tastes really, really smooth.
I think I told you about this.
Maybe you did.
And in Asheville, you go to Sierra Nevada.
That's who has it. It's Sierra Nevada. And so we need to take your dad and have him get the 15 IBU beer and
it's 0
record
and
it.
100.
And we will go viral.
So it's
What did you give me?
It's 100 IBUs and then 0 IBUs. I think. But it's it tastes completely opposite, and that's like a special thing. I don't know that they have it all the time.
Basically, we need to introduce your father to that new life goal.
Yeah, because I think I taught him the IBUs thing, and I kind of regret that now.
Yeah. Well, but he's been getting better lately, where we just like go to a restaurant and or like a brewery, and he's like, "What should we get?" And we just order for him, and we say, "This is what you would like to drink," and that's been working out pretty good.
Yeah, we went to BJ's a very long time ago at this point.
Yeah.
And he just listened.
Mm-hmm. And we took him to, your parents took us to Taft's Brewporium, and we got him good beers there too. The kids love Taft's now. Like, they love Taft's Brewporium.
Yeah, so it's my birthday as of tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
And my mom and dad were like, hey, you get to go. Well, first we took family pictures.
Because we needed family photos of everybody in the family. Because it's been forever since we've done it. And the wedding at the end of the year is going to be crazy. So have some chill family photos.
My brother's getting married. So
many wedding events. Between that wedding and another wedding that I'm in.
Yeah.
When does this episode release?
Next week.
Okay. So I still got a few weeks before that wedding then.
So my brother's getting married. So we wanted pictures of the family with his fiance in it.
Yeah.
We got Christmas photos. Was that 2019? December 2019?
Yeah, December 2019. We went to Penny's and got family photos and tolerated the experience.
Yeah. So that was before the pandemic, and we actually went to a studio, if you can imagine. My mom, she was obsessed with this. We would go to the mall. You go to Northgate Mall. I think
Which doesn't really exist anymore. It's for sale if you want to buy it.
Oh, is that again for sale?
Yep. There's a big sign on the side of the building.
Yeah. It's rough. Retail is rough right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tri-County is the one that is completely gone.
Yeah, that's down the street from where I work. I don't pass it much. It looks sus.
It's sad.
Yeah, but so we did family photos at Alms Park, which was really pretty, and we'll have to go back there just to like hang out. And your parents were like, hey, where do you want to go for lunch? Because it's your birthday, almost. And we said Taft's Brewporium.
Well, I said Taft's Brewporium because Elliot is in a train phase.
That is one way to put it.
Thanks to Julia, by the way. Shout out to Julia. She and Marco record a podcast called Truth, Beer, and Podsequences, where they review other craft beer podcasts. Sometimes they talk about us, sometimes they don't. But they recorded at Mad Tree once, and I didn't know this because we go at night, and I guess I just didn't realize. But Mad Tree is right by a train track, or
there is a train track right there. That's right.
Well, we always go at night usually, so
Yeah.
we don't look outside or whatever. But they were there, and they were talking about trains, and Julia mentioned that, she watches train videos, like for fun.
And one day, Lilly was napping, and Elliot was being a hot mess, and we're like, here, have a train video.
Yeah.
And then Elliot's just like in a daze, staring at the TV.
Yeah, so now that's what we do. I don't think Lily likes it as much. But last year at this time, when Lily was 2,
Yeah.
we went to Taft's Brewporium for her birthday, and we saw trains. We went on Train Tuesday.
Yeah, and we saw a train right as we were leaving, and she was like, whoa, this is a thing.
Yeah, not as many trains as you would think.
They go on the far track, because there's a Y split right before Taft's, and they typically go on the arm of the Y that goes farther away from Taft's versus the one that's right next to Taft's. But when we were there, Elliot could still see the ones that were going on the far Y.
Yeah, so
and
we
he
went on a Sunday.
Yeah. And then, again, soon before we left, but like we were still sitting in the tap room, we heard a train that was getting really loud. And I'm like, Elliot, come here. And he just stared. He waved. He actually physically said hi.
Which he never does.
No, he never does that. Normally he just waves. He said, hi. And it was so cute.
And we got a little bit of that on video.
Yeah.
But that was really fun to see his face light up like that.
Yeah, Lily batted her eyes, and she got quarters from her oppa so she could go play Mrs. Pac-Man. I'm like, she doesn't need to play the game. She can just pretend like she's playing the game. But okay, it's your money.
So that was fun.
Yeah, I am sad to see this Oktoberfest go as I drink my last sip.
Yeah, I drank mine. It's good. West Side does good. They do good Oktoberfests.
Yeah. So
for sure.
What's next? The fest beer?
Yeah, let's do the fest beer. And then I think our lineup changes a little bit.
It does.
But speaking of West Side, they're packed. In addition to it being dog night, there's a baby shower.
Yes, a baby shower that has multiple pregnant people in attendance. So I don't really know. Wait, no. We do know which one the party's for because she had a bow. They conned Joe into taking a photo of them for their big thing. We don't have a photo of it. We will not be sharing their photos. But I don't know where I was going with that.
No,
Other
they're
than
here.
I came back from the bathroom and you are taking a photo of like 30 women and children.
And a bunch of kids, yeah. Not on my phone, on their phone. I don't have
phone.
a copy of their picture.
So yeah, this place is packed. We almost...
It's a running club. I guess they do a running club too.
Oh, it is running club day too, yeah. We were almost going to come here tomorrow, but tomorrow is Singo or Trivia Tuesday. It's Trivia Thursdays. That's what it is. It's trivia.
It's
And
specifically about lyrics to songs.
it's British music
Yeah.
trivia. So it would be a little loud if we tried to do that.
It would be a lot loud.
How did that go when you and Mac tried it?
It did not go well, but that was on a Tuesday. So I'm a little confused about their schedule.
Well, this might be, I mean, just because it's British music, it might be specifically because the Queen has died.
Did we talk about the fest beer?
We did not. It is nice and smooth. And like, this is like the heat of Oktoberfest, this is what I want to drink. When it cools down and the sun goes down, that's when I want like an Oktoberfest. Or if it's like the 3 different years that it snowed during Oktoberfest, because what even is that? Like
You're talking about Dinosaurs Oktoberfest.
Yeah, which is the first weekend in October. So it's either going to be like hot and sunny and crazy because everybody and their brother is there, or it's going to be cold and snowy and crazy because like 3/4 of the people and their brother are there. Or it's going to be like bipolar, where it's rainy one day and sunny and hot the next, but the field is a mud pit because it was rainy yesterday.
Yeah, sometimes it's rainy on Friday and then sunny Saturday, Sunday. Sometimes it's perfect Friday night and then Saturday, and then it's rainy all day Sunday. Sometimes it's perfect all 3 days. Sometimes it's just...
And then those are the years where we're like, we did not buy enough of anything.
Because my mom runs the merchandise booth.
Yeah. And then it's like, we have like 4 things because everybody bought them on Saturday. There is a kid that is in light up rain boots, and he is running so fast because his boots light up.
I know.
The boots make him faster.
It has to. I'm like, holy moly, that kid is fast.
It's like a mini Flash.
It is, yeah. It's specifically the light up that is making him go. No, you're right, though. There's something about a fast beer versus a traditional Märzen, where Märzens are heavier and breadier.
Yeah.
Typically. Still smooth because it's a lager.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fest beer is a little bit lighter. Still bready, still malty and sweet, but not so much in your face.
Yeah.
But really, really smooth on the back end because it is also a lager.
So smooth.
Yeah. And I'm with you. I prefer the lighter one if I'm drinking it by the liter.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like drinking beer by the liter anymore.
Well, and I've been doing this trick for years where I get like a half liter. So because we have koozies for our liter steins. So I will just keep my beer in my liter stein, but I won't get a full liter. So by the time I finish drinking it, it hasn't changed temperature too much because of the koozie, but it also hasn't lost a lot of its carbonation because I don't drink my beer particularly fast. Unless if I have had a fair amount of beer, and then I drink it really, really fast.
Well, at Dinosaurs is when we drink beer by the liter, which is particularly...
And shots, and accidental shots.
Sometimes. I don't do shots.
I end up doing a lot of accidental shots. I am a very talkative person, and I go up and say hi to people, and then they're like, hey, we're on our way to the shot booth. You should join us. And I'm like, money? And they're like, your money is no good here. We're going to pay for this round. And I'm like, okay. Hey, Joe, you're driving home. I love you.
Yeah, so when you're there at Dinosaurs and you're a volunteer, like you and I, because we're members, typically, I mean, since we have kids, we haven't done this, but back in the day, we were there from...
We were crazy.
We were there from like 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. the next Sunday morning on Saturday. Yeah,
we would be there like from before the gates opened to after everybody got kicked out.
So when you're drinking beer, you definitely have to pace yourself.
Yeah.
And I learned that over the years, you know.
Yeah, and do not wear open-toe shoes if you're going to do the Stein slide and you have been drinking. This is not a personal experience story other than I saw blood on the way to the women's bathroom, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what's that? Is everybody okay? And they're like, oh yeah, some woman just got taken away in a squad because she dropped a glass Stein on her foot at the Stein slide, and she was wearing flip-flops. And I'm like, oh yeah. Which reminds me, I never told Chris how I got this scar.
Chris who?
From Shift Beers. We were on Shift Beers, and somehow scars came up, and I was like, oh, I have to tell you the story of how I got this scar. And it's on my middle finger. So I was flicking him off accidentally. I think when I was showing him the scar, and they're like, "Oh my goodness, she's flipping you off." And I'm like, "I actually have a scar there." And then we never got around to the story.
So what's the story?
My version of the story is I had been drinking, but I knew my limits. And for some reason that year we had way more glass steins out than usual. I think it's because Paul Honor gave us a bunch of them that we then gave or sold to people. And there was a guy who had been drinking way too much on the dance floor who then dropped his glass stein in the middle of the dance floor. So we had been dancing on the dance floor, and I was like, "Oh no, there is now glass on the dance floor. Let me help pick up the big pieces so people don't get hurt." And I had told the guy that dropped the glass stein, don't help. I've got this, because obviously you have had too much to drink. And I know that I am not well enough to drive, but I am well enough to help clean up this mess. And he decides that he is going to help me clean up the mess, and in the process picks up one of the larger shards of glass and cuts my finger.
Oh my God, I didn't realize he
cut my finger. I did not cut my finger. He cut my finger. And then I'm like, well, now I'm bleeding a bunch. Let me go get this taken care of. And that's how I have this scar right here, which is one of 4 scars on this finger. One of them's from a hard drive.
Oh God.
And I think one of them's from a brick wall in Mexico.
No way.
Yes. Well, cinder block wall in Mexico.
You got cut in Mexico?
Yes. We were on a mission trip helping out in an orphanage. I was in 7th or 8th grade and had been given a task that was I had deemed girly the day before. Because there were adults with us and there were teens, middle school and high school kids. And I wanted to do some more manual labor than just let's paint this wall. So I was using a sledgehammer to help.
Manual? Painting?
This is middle school Caroline.
Okay.
Middle school Caroline had a lot going on.
Okay.
So I was helping the adult guys tear down a cinder block wall, and I was trying to hit near the top of the wall, but not the tippy top of the wall. And because I had not used a sledgehammer that much at that point, I just completely missed the wall, and my finger grazed the top of the jagged wall. And that's how I got...
It was a jockey?
This
sledgehammer?
So, no, we were sledgehammering a wall from the top down.
Oh, my God. Who gave you a sledgehammer?
People at my church at the time. So that's how I got this scar. But then this scar here is the one from from Oktoberfest. And then this one here is from the hard drive.
There was another time you had a sledgehammer, but you were in a deer mill. Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah. That was so much fun.
I forget. It was a fundraiser for the youth group.
Yeah, it was a
fundraiser for one of the Germany trips.
Yeah, it was a fundraiser for the youth group, and it was Car Show Sunday. And somehow Hansi, who was the big chair for the event, got a hold of a beater car and said it was going to be $1 a swing or something like that with a sledgehammer to hit this car.
We got a very scary picture of you.
So there's a picture of me in a dirndl standing on the hood of the car, wielding a sledgehammer to hit the roof of the car. It was lots of fun. It might have been my profile picture for a while.
Oh, it definitely was. We can resurrect it.
I'm going to see if I can find it while we keep talking. This Fest beer is so yummy, and I'm almost done with it.
Yeah, I just finished mine. Very, very, very smooth.
So smooth.
And they sell these in 16 pint cans. 16-ounce cans. But in 4-packs. I got this last time I was here as well. I got the Fest beer and the Dunkel. But like I said, they were out of the Dunkel and draft. So I'm on to my third beer, which is different from your third beer.
Well, so do we want to do the Hefeweizen?
Okay.
Well, let's drink the Hefeweizen together. I was scrolling through my profile pictures, and it stopped at the one where I'm in the back of a police car. It was, what was it? It was Superhero Olympics week at Girl Scout camp. I just got tons of stories today.
Okay. So this was Girl Scout camp. So
yes, this was the Girl Scout camp.
Back up. So is this the Girl Scout camp the night
This is Twilight Camp that
Twilight Camp,
I was a director for. Like, I was the program director. I was in charge of all of the volunteers at like the ripe old age of 20. But I would have been like 25 for this. So it was Superhero Olympics because we couldn't choose a theme between superheroes and Olympics. And
I remember this.
This was First Responders Day because first responders are a type of superhero was our logic for this. So we had Coleraine Police Department, Fire Department, and we had an ambulance for a very hot second before they had to leave because they got a call. So I have a photo of me in the back of a squad car with the caption, "So things got a little crazy at camp today."
Did they handcuff you or did you just...
No, I just pretended like my hands were behind my back. And then somebody said, everyone okay? What did you do this time? Bail money? I escaped and I'm on the lam. Only tense for me for a long time. And then finally one of my Girl Scout friends commented, who had not been there. And she just said, "I miss camp. I bet you were doing amazing things running it." And then a friend who works at the jail said, "See you at work tomorrow morning then."
So this Hefeweizen, extremely smooth.
It is.
Banana forward, for sure.
Definitely.
Man, those ladies can drink.
I mean, there's a lot of them.
There's a mom. She's cleaning up after them, which I don't think she has to do, but which is very
She does not
nice.
have to do, but it's very nice of her to do that.
She just brought like 20 glasses of empty pint glasses to the bar.
I can't find the photo, but I did find the photo of the cafeteria in my high school where I believe it was the oh my goodness, that's like the student organization where student council. The student council was in charge of like decorating the windows every month. And so there was an event that was October 11th, and they spelled October OCTOCBER.
I see it. On purpose?
I don't think so.
I mean,
And I made it my profile picture at some point.
I mean, it's okay to spell it OKTP, OKT, whatever.
OKTOBERFEST.
Yeah, words
Which
are
is
hard.
how my phone automatically spells October now.
Oh yeah.
Because I do so many things.
So this Hefeweizen, very banana forward, which there are two different types of Hefeweizens, right?
Well, there are two main notes in Hefeweizens.
Two main notes, I guess. One is banana, one is clove. And to my understanding, at least, you can have the same yeast strain for the Hefeweizen, but if you store them at different temperatures, when they're lagering, one colder, one warmer, you'll get different flavors.
Correct.
So one of those flavors is banana, one of those flavors is clove. You can never remember which one.
We did it right one year, but I don't know.
I don't hate the banana flavor. I know I don't like bananas, but as I mentioned in previous episodes, I don't really like the texture of the banana more than the flavor.
Yeah, you really don't.
It's like the mushiness. I just don't like that, but the flavor's okay. So when it's in a beer, I'm okay with that. The third flavor, which is not as common, but you can still get it, is bubblegum. So it's banana, clove, and bubblegum.
Yeah.
Which I've had many Hefeweizens. I don't really come across as many bubblegum forward Hefeweizens.
I feel like we did once.
There was, yeah, but I feel like it's rare.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for this fourth beer.
I am very excited for your fourth beer, too.
Well, what's your fourth beer?
The Helles.
Oh. Well, what else do you want to talk about?
Let's see here. So Lily is 3 now, which is crazy. She says so much. Elliot knows what he wants, but does not know how to say it, which is frustrating for all parties involved.
He does do a little sign language. He does please.
Yeah, he does please. I'm trying to teach him more. I didn't start with the sign language as much as I did with Lily.
Yeah, I think he's too old for it now.
He's not, but it's just... He's just like, no, I'm going to grunt and point until you figure out what I'm saying.
Let's see. We went to Ron's Roost.
Oh, yeah, you and Elliot went to Ron's Roost while I was helping plan a bridal shower with Lily.
And I was thinking about it. I don't think I've ever gone out just me and Elliot before.
I go out with Lily all the time. So you and Elliot spend a lot of time at home. Well, yeah, because you went with Lily one day to a coffee shop, and I went to Elliot to a doctor's appointment or something like that.
Yeah, he's usually at home sleeping or napping.
Yeah.
When you and Lily go off and do Target runs.
Yeah, or like you and Lily go off and do something, but you don't really go off and do stuff with Elliot. But that's all going to change.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't really think, I've ever gone out with him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've stayed home with him.
Yeah.
But I haven't gone out with him. So I think he was a little freaked out. I don't know. He was kind of looking around. He was saying, "Sissy, mama."
He gets very lost without his sister. When she goes back to preschool, it's going to be like a week and a half of adjustment for him.
Yeah, I think you have to explain that because people don't understand the context.
So Lily went to preschool for a week and is on a break from preschool so we can solidify potty training. But it's going a lot better now. I was hopeful that seeing the other kids would help her get it because she really does do better when she sees somebody else do the thing.
The week before the first day of school,
she was doing really, really good.
She was telling us she was really having no accidents.
Yeah.
I mean, she's waking up dry from overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like she's excelling at some parts that other kids are not excelling.
Yeah, she just needed to connect the final dots.
Yeah.
So we sent her to school for a week, and she maxed out on their number of accidents you were allowed to have in a 2-week period in 1 week. So we talked to the director. She was like, we want her to come back. She's a good kid. She seems like she's really close to getting it. She just needs a little bit more time to solidify it. So for the last week, all Lily has done is talk about Miss and her friends, but she will not tell me what her friends' names are. But that whole week, I think I was working from home 2 days that week. Maybe it was just the one day. I was home a lot more than usual that week. And I dropped Lily off at preschool the first day because Elliot had a doctor's appointment. And I come back from dropping her off, and Elliot finally wakes up. So I get him up, and he's just like, Sissy? Sissy? And he's running around the house looking for his sister. And I'm like, she's not here, bud. It's just you and me. So we had a mommy and me day until I think Elliot took a nap and I picked up Lily from preschool. And then he was super excited to see her. Or wait, no, I was at the doctor's office with Elliot while you picked up Lily from preschool.
Yeah, I was going to say, I picked her up all 5 days.
But I dropped her off all 5 days. And then I would get stories of Elliot just wandering around the house saying, Sissy, completely lost, not knowing what to do without his sister. And I'm like, oh, poor kid. But I mean, they do spend a lot of time together. She is basically his world.
Besides the trains. And sheep. Oh my goodness, that kid and sheep. All the time.
Yeah. So we've had a lot more accident-free days. Lily has been way more vocal in telling us that she has to go to the bathroom. And I think it's finally clicking in her head. This is what she has to do. And we've tried to explain to her too, if you want to go see your teacher again and all your friends, you have to be going to the bathroom all the time. No more accidents. So yeah, so she's doing a lot better with that. And she goes back, I think the week after this airs is the plan for when she's going to start going back to school.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because I don't want to force it either.
No. But also, Lily had her first slumber party.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Little bit.
So this person's mom I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
I've known since basically I was born.
You sat in strollers next to each other while you watched the shoe plottlers dance.
Maybe. I hung out with her sister more than her.
Yeah.
Because she was older But,
I was setting a mood.
Yeah, so that was the thing that happened. I remember specifically, I wasn't in a stroller, but for some reason, the shoe plottlers were dancing at Riverbend, and I remember the flags. It wasn't Coney Island, it was Riverbend, because I remember the flags. I don't remember why.
Probably some annual celebration, some anniversary, or they did an Oktoberfest or something.
Maybe, I don't know. But I remember going to the Donald Schwab and shoe plottlers. Basically, I was their groupie as a kid.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of kids.
Quite a few.
And we would all just hang out together while our parents danced. and the girls would spin, and their dresses would bow out, and I thought that was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So this person, she has 4 kids now. One of them is Elliot's age. One of them is a year older than Lilly. She has 3 boys and 1 girl. So the one that's a little older than Lilly is a girl. So we got her to watch Lilly.
2 days a week.
Yeah, 2 days a week hanging out with her daughter. And
it was mostly during the school year. So she had a kid in preschool and a kid at school.
Right. And I feel bad about that. But she said yes. And we were kind of desperate.
We were a little desperate, yeah.
Because
it was before my mom was actually retired and could watch the kids more often.
Right, yeah, because COVID really solidified her retirement.
Yeah.
So during that period, it was like, would you say?
It was like 6 months.
November 2019 to March 2020. She was watched.
Yeah, and then we picked back up again in the summer of 2020 when we knew more about COVID.
Yeah.
And then she only watched Lilly 1 day a week.
Yeah. And then you were pregnant, and then surprise, she was pregnant, and I'm like,
this isn't going to work out anymore.
we can't. She can't watch 5 kids.
Yeah.
That's impossible, even if she wanted to.
Well, it would have been 6 kids.
Yeah, because she was watching Neighbors on top of that.
Well, no, because her 4 kids plus our 2 kids would be 6 kids. Math.
Right. That's true. I'm just saying, she couldn't watch.
Yeah.
That many kids.
Yeah. So at Lily's, we invited them all to Lily's birthday party because Lily still enjoys hanging out with them, even though we don't see them near as much as we used to. And she just talks about her friend, Miss M, and how much she misses Miss M. And we're like, okay. My M. My M.
Yeah.
And as we were setting up for her birthday party, she was sitting at a table and she says, I sit here. My M sits here, and pointed to the empty air next to her where there was not a chair, but obviously there needed to be a chair there for her friend.
Obviously.
And at her birthday party, our friend's husband said, hey, it'd be really cool if these 2 had a slumber party.
Yeah, and Miss M is 4.
And fully potty trained.
And Lily is literally 3.
Just turned 3.
Yeah, so it didn't go as badly as some people would have said, because we were talking to someone, forget who, but...
Well, we both have stories of early days of slumber parties or overnight trips places where you have at least one friend that was picked up in the middle of the night by their parents because they couldn't cut it, or they were crying the whole night because they were homesick, but they were too far away from home to do anything about it.
Oh my God, yeah, I can tell stories of Boy Scout camp, because where I went to school, you became a Boy Scout in the 6th grade, the summer before 6th grade.
Yeah.
So between 5th and 6th grade. And at that point, there wasn't a Boy Scout camp in Cincinnati, at least not one that we went to. So we went to Indiana, which was 3 hours away.
Meanwhile, there are 2 Girl Scout camps within
2 hours away,
an hour of our house.
Yeah,
because Girl Scouts is better.
No, I think they were renovating.
They probably were.
Because the year after that, we went to a different camp, which was in Fairfield somewhere. I don't even know where.
That's the point. You're not supposed to know.
I think it's in Fairfield. So 30 minutes away versus 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Oh my goodness. We have to pause for a second. West Side has long-sleeved orange and black T-shirts.
That's day drinking.
Yeah, that's a DEY.
You didn't
drinking.
see that on their Facebook?
No.
Because they have a can, a Bengals themed can, which is not Bengals themed, so don't come at them.
It is tiger themed.
It's tiger themed.
Yes.
Yes. Snow leopard theme.
So we knew it could go sideways. We had food for breakfast in the morning and a mid-morning snack, but everything was very much loosey-goosey as far as what our plans were. Lily has slept other places before. Her friend had slept other places before. So we were fairly confident that things were going to go well. And her parents and her brothers were going to be out and about until 10 o'clock. And so her mom was like, hey, if anything goes sideways, let me know and we can pick her up before 10. And I was like, well, if it's midnight and they're still being whatever, Like, I'll just throw her in our car, and either Joe or myself will drive her to your house. Because there's no point in, like, you driving to our house and then driving home when it's just easier for us to throw her in the car and take her over so she has less time being uncomfortable or whatever. But the kids, so she came over, we watched Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, we put Elliot to bed, we got into our jammies, and then we painted kitty cats. So I got wall-hanging cats for them to paint for Halloween.
That was a huge hit.
It was a very huge hit. Lily did not want to stop painting it to hang out with her friend. And I'm like, Lily, your friend came to spend time with you, not play in the living room by herself while you finish up your painting. And Lily's like, I'm almost done. And I'm like, you've said that for the last 20 minutes. You're donezos. And they watched the first half of Frozen in their pillow beds in the living room. It was super cute. But they were both still awake, so I said, okay, we're going to do a potty break, and then we're going to go to bed. And they said, okay. So we carried the pillow beds upstairs. Lily slept in a pillow bed by her bed, and then her friend slept in a pillow bed by the dresser. And I was like, okay, I can either stay in your bedroom with you for like 5 minutes, or I can just leave. And Lily wanted me to stay for a bit. So I think I stayed in her room for like 5 or 10 minutes, just chilling on her bed. And I was like, well, Lily sounds like she's breathing heavier now. And so I left, and I texted her mom. I was like, I think they're both asleep. So, like, we're good. And I was like, we might take them to the zoo tomorrow if they both behave. Because my family was going to the zoo. And I was like, maybe we'll run into them there. Spoilers, we did not. But first thing we did when we woke up in the morning was get the van situated for 3 car seats. I took a captain's chair out and put both of Lily's car seats, the one from the CRV and the one from the van, in the back of the van, so her and her friend could sit next to each other. We loaded up the wagon. We loaded up a stroller for Elliot. And after we had breakfast, we went to the zoo. Because that's what crazy people do, I guess.
It did take us a while because you had to do everyone's hair.
I had to do 2 sets of hair. Make sure everybody got dressed. Everybody got potty breaks. We had to have food for 3 kids. I brought an extra change of clothes for everybody. I was like, I don't know. We had to bring waters for everybody. I was like, I don't know how crazy this is going to be, but I know the kids are going to have a blast. And they did.
It wasn't that bad.
No.
Elliot went in the umbrella stroller, and he got out when we went to an exhibit or whatever. And then the girls sat in the wagon, which Elliot wasn't too happy about because he usually sits in the wagon.
Yeah. So at some point, Lily's friend and Elliot were sitting in the wagon, and Lily was in the stroller. Because Elliot got into the wagon before Lily did. And I was like, Lily, he beat you. Like, you got to sit in the stroller until we get to our next spot. Or you can help push the stroller. And she was like, I sit.
I think she was screaming, I think.
She was not happy about it. We had 3 kids on the carousel because we waited in line for the carousel instead of the train. We saw the giraffes. We saw the elephants. We saw the manatees. And Lily, this is the best part. Lily and her friend looked like twins. Because I asked them how they wanted to do their hair, like the way Lily had her hair done or the way Maggie had her hair done. And they both said the way Maggie had her hair done. So their hair looked the same. Maggie was getting dressed, and I wasn't super paying attention. But I had already pulled out pink shorts for Lily, and I had picked out 2 or 3 shirts for Lily to pick out. And then I look, and Maggie's like, look at this shirt. And it's one of the sequin shirts that changes when you wipe it. So one way it looks like lemons, and the other way it looks like the inside of lemons. And I was like, wait, Lily has a shirt with a giant lemon on it. That's almost the same color. And I pulled that shirt out of her drawer, and I said, Lily, what shirt do you want to wear? And she picked the one that looked like her friend's shirt. So they were in pink shorts with blue-ish shirts, slightly off on the colors, but very much matching. So basically we got a glimpse at what would have happened if Elliot was a girl.
I don't know about that.
Well, with the matching hairstyles and semi-matching outfits. I mean, they're already in semi-matching outfits half the time anyway.
I don't think they would have been as happy about it, though.
They would not have been as happy about it.
This was a treat.
It was a treat.
So we're into their fourth beer.
Yes, this Helles is delicious, but I am very jealous of your beer.
Which is a smoked Oktoberfest. Which is literally just smoke and clean.
Smoky Oktoberfest.
And smooth.
It is so good. I want that. I am now regretting that you got me the Helles and not that. Sad panda.
Well,
it's okay.
We have to have different things.
This is true.
Because I got the pint of the Helles.
You did.
Or the mug of the Helles earlier. And you could have gotten the smoky.
I didn't know what we were recording with.
But I wanted to kind of close the episode because I think we're about there.
I think so too.
With West Side Brewing.
West Side. You know it.
And how ambitious they were, or isn't ambitious, to have 6 Bavarian-style beers on tap or in distribution or in cans.
I mean, it fits with them because they are traditional beers done well.
Yeah, but they've never done anything like this before, and they aren't I'm looking at their brewery space, they aren't a very big place.
No, but they can a lot of beer.
Yeah. As far as tank space goes.
They have 8 fermenters of various sizes. Oh, wait. 9. I missed the little baby one.
And they might seek help elsewhere, too.
They might.
But, yeah, that's very ambitious. I feel like that's very ambitious because they had an Oktoberfest a few weeks ago. We mentioned it earlier.
Wish we could have gone.
I think we were busy. But
we're always busy now.
They had 6 different lagers. I guess the Oktoberfest, they just split and then they just adjunct. Or no, they smoke the malt.
Yeah.
They smoke the malt, so I guess that has to be 2 different tanks.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know how, long ago. I don't think it would have been super long ago, but, how long have they had the Hefeweizen out? So it could be the Hefeweizen they did a while ago. And, they did the Oktoberfest, and then they did the smoked Oktoberfest, but they held on to the Oktoberfest until closer to Oktoberfest season.
Yeah, so they have a Fest beer, an Oktoberfest, a smoked Oktoberfest, a Hefeweizen, a Helles, and then a Dunkel.
Yes.
So that's 6. 6 different, and all these things are supposed to be lagers. With technology these days, you don't necessarily have to use lagering yeast to get that lagering taste. So I don't want to out them or whatever, but
I feel like they don't cut corners, so I
don't think it's cutting corners. I think it's, it is what it is, right? Mm-hmm. You can mimic a lager without having lager yeast. That's the benefit of technology. The difference is you don't have to, it doesn't sit as long.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, all of them are bangers. I mean, Josh from Shift Beers, if you're listening to this, you should come to West Side and redo your lager episode because the lagers that you picked were awful.
Yes, they were.
Apparently. In your words. They were not good beers, so you should come to West Side, grab the Bavarian beers.
West Side.
Yeah. Grab the Bavarian beers and redo that episode. Kind of just wipe it clean and just copy and replace.
They've done 6 seltzer shows. They can do 10 lager shows. They'll be fine.
I know. I feel like we need to go on their show and just redo it.
Yes. We did West Side beers, West Side of Cincinnati beers, not just beers from West Side Brewing. We could do a lager episode.
I mean, I have I think I have a lot of these in my fridge. But
We probably do.
I don't know how much I've drank. I don't think I have a Hellas, though.
Probably not, because those normally don't last as long, especially since we have blocks in our fridge now. Sponsors of Truth, Beer, and Consequences.
One-time sponsor.
One-time sponsor of Truth, Beer, and
They
Consequences.
should sponsor us, though.
They should, because, it'll be so fun. Next summer, a mom's podcast with blocks.
Oh, yeah.
That should be a thing.
But what? Oh, with the
With whatever moms I can find. Not picky.
with the. Oh my God, the seltzer that I get,
We get,
Liquid Death.
yeah. Oh, yeah, the sparkling seltzer. Yeah. I was like, wait, what? 5? Truth? Or
No, the
Truly?
non-alcoholic seltzer
Liquid
that I
Death.
turned into. I got obsessed with blocks the other week,
You did.
and it's actually as far as calories go, it's actually healthier to do Liquid Death plus seltzer
Plus the blocks. Yeah.
plus Liquid Deaths plus blocks.
And you were like, what are we going to do with these when I brought blocks home? And I said, drink them. And you were like, I'm not going to. And then I started to drink them, and I showed you that they weren't terrible. And you're like, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing Instagram posts of you sticking to blocks in a Liquid Death when I'm not even home. And I'm like, who is this man?
You were home.
Okay, I was in bed sleeping.
That's right. Dog is on my side.
Okay, we need to land the plane.
Dog is on my side. Is there anything else you want to say about West Side?
West Side, West Side.
Oh, that's one thing you can say.
It's thebomb.com. Because that is not a dated thing to say.
So we downed.
Marco and Julia should record an episode of Truth, Beer, and Consequences here.
Well, why won't they?
I don't know. They need to. Julia goes to the east side for Marco all the time, so he needs to come to the west side sometime.
I mean, I guess technically by our definition, that's the east side, but I would consider that the north side.
Marco needs to come to Julia's neck of the woods to record at least one episode.
I mean, they should do it.
Challenge. Julia and Marco record an episode at West Side Brewing.
Do you have your challenge coin?
I have a challenge flight class.
That should be a thing, right? All
We
right.
will come and heckle you during your recording if you record at West Side Brewing with children in tow.
Oh boy. And if it's a Wednesday, our dogs too.
Yes.
All right, so now it's time for Joe's Dad Joke of the Week. Carolyn, are you ready for this?
I just want to say that I now follow dad jokes on Reddit. So I can try to find these jokes to be funny by adding more of them into my life. I don't know if it's working.
It's normalizing the dad jokes.
Yeah.
Well, Caroline, did you know it's a 5-minute walk to the bar from our house,
That makes sense.
but it's an hour walk back?
What?
The difference is staggering.
Oh my goodness.
So that does it for this week's show. Thanks so much for listening. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Craft Parenting Podcast. You can also get a hold of us via email, which is craftparentingpodcast@gmail.com.
If you like what you hear, please leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or your podcatcher of choice. Make sure to share the show. It's what helps our show grow. If you'd like to send us stuff such as fan mail, craft supplies, or sanity, we have a P.O. box.
All this information is available on our website, which is www.craftparentingpodcast.com.
That's where we post the show notes, plus blog posts about some of the stuff that doesn't make it into the episodes.
And if you want to follow me personally on Instagram, you can do that by following me at craftparentingjoe.
And I am at Caroline Creates Crafts on Instagram and Caroline's Creative Crafts on Facebook. I'm posting more often. It's a thing.
And if you want to support the show, we now have a Buy Us a Coffee.
Isn't it Buy Me a Coffee?
Well,
But
it's Buy Me a Coffee.
it's going to be for us.
Yeah, it's for the show. If you want to support the show, go to buymeacoffee/craftparenting. And there are several options for you to do. You can buy us a coffee, which will go towards upgrading equipment.
Mama needs a box of wine. Daddy needs a 6-pack.
Yeah.
We have options.
And we appreciate you very much for doing that. And also, I wanted to shout out one more time, West Side Brewing.
For being our unknowing podcast hosts tonight.
Yeah, we are here on location, and the beer is always good.
So good. So good. So good.
And with that, I'm Joe.
Ba-ba-ba. And I'm Caroline.
See you next time on the Craft Parenting Podcast.
Bye. Did you see what I did there?
I did.
West Side, West Side.
We are recording.
Woohoo!
Holy cow, this place is packed.
It is very packed. I mean, that's kind of what happens when it's a great place to go.
All right. This is episode 76. Parents' Night Out at West Side Brewing.
Whoop, whoop.
Tentative title.
Working title.
Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how this goes.
Now we have King Shucky.
You probably shouldn't say that on air.
We threw their tea in the harbor. We kicked their butts like 4 different times.
Oh, with the help of the French, who then got bankrupt and then dove into a brutal civil war.
We still came out with the better end of the deal. That's the important thing.
Yeah, we weren't beheading people.
Welcome back to History with the Ludwigs. Well, no, because the last public guillotine in France was like in the 1970s. They used that thing like crazy. Yeah, because there's and Belle and Prince Adam lived happily ever after. Except it was right before the Civil War in France, and they were probably beheaded for their land. Woohoo!
The cartoon is timeless, though. It's the live action that dates
You
it.
can date it based on their wardrobes, though.